Hi, and welcome to Nuxttux Creative Studio. My name is Jonathan, and in today's video, we'll be looking at how we can blend two images together using GIMP. We'll be blending this turtle over here with this garden. First off, I got these images over on FreePic. I do have a premium account, and you would need one if ever you want to get this garden. Otherwise, you won't be able to get the garden. But enough about that. Let's jump right into GIMP. And over here, I have both images opened. And first thing to do would be to select our subject. To select the subject, I'll go ahead and grab the foreground select tool, make a quick selection around our turtle here. And now since this is meant to be beginner friendly, we won't be using any too advanced tools or anything of the sort. We're going to keep it very simple and trying to get the best result that we can, and this will be a stylized result. So press enter return once you're done making a rough selection of your subject. Then I'll make sure that I'm on draw foreground or increase the size of my brush a bit as such. And I'll go ahead and draw in what would be considered the foreground. So it doesn't need to be a perfect selection or drawing, if you will. Simply enough to let GIMP know what it is that we're trying to grab. Now, be careful not to grab any parts of the background, because given the color scheme of this image, GIMP might get confused pretty quickly. Alright, this should be good enough. I'll just scribble these in, grab a bit of this. I'll grab the background over here and maybe move it closer to the shell as such. Alright, next thing I'll do is I'll push my active levels all the way up to 10, and this reduces the processing power needed to grab the subject. And this can be helpful for low-end machines, but in this case, I'm doing it to save a bit of time. It does leave a bit of noise, but that's easy to fix. So let's go ahead and preview our mask. This will take a few seconds. Since the mask preview is blue and so is our background, we're going to view this using the grayscale. We can simply change the color, but really I always check the grayscale anyhow. And as you can see here, there are some spots here and there, but that's not a problem. It's an easy fix. So I'll go ahead and click on select, and now we have our subject selected. So you can go ahead and add a mask by going over to the mask down here in the layers panel and simply add a mask from selection, since we have our selection already. In my case, I'll simply hold down shift and left click on the thumbnail here, and it will apply the last used values, which is to create a mask from selection. Right, so I'll go ahead and select none. I'll hold down Alt on a PC or Option on Mac and left click on the thumbnail of the mask so we can get a preview of just the mask. You can see there's a bit of noise around, and we're going to fix this very quickly by going up to colors, down to levels. We could use curve, but I'm going to keep this beginner friendly. Let's drag the black arrow of the input levels to the right, and this will remove any of the noise that is outside of our turtle. And then we'll grab the white slider and push it towards the left, and this will remove these dark spots inside of our turtle. So I'll hold down Alt on the PC or Option on the Mac, click on the mask again. So that should be good enough. I'll press OK, and there we have it. So the next thing to do is to bring our turtle into the first project tab. So I'll left click on the layer, hold, drag it up to the first project tab, move it over the image area, let go, and there we have it. Now, if you remember, I'll disable the mask temporarily, so you can hold down Control on the PC or Command on the Mac, click on the mask thumbnail to disable it temporarily. We can see that the light here is coming in from above, and it's coming in slightly from the left and going down slightly towards the right. And if we were to look at our background here, the light is clearly coming in from the right and going towards the left. So first thing first, I'm going to use the flip tool to flip our turtle around. That way the direction of the light can match a bit better. And then we can go ahead and scale the turtle down. So I'll grab the scale tool, and I'll make sure to change my interpolation here to low halo. So let's go ahead and scale down the turtle. I'll say around here for myself. Press enter return to confirm. And personally, I think I'm going to rotate it ever so slightly as such. Alright, so that's the first step. I'll call this turtle, and I'll make a duplicate of our turtle original and hide the original. So this one I'll go ahead and call values. Now you don't have to make a duplicate for each step, but just keep in mind that GIMP every process is technically destructive, meaning that there are no smart object or adjustment layers for those of you who are familiar with Photoshop or even Krita. So each step that we take is technically destructive. It is applied directly to our image, or rather our layer. Okay, next thing I'll do is create a blank layer here, and I'll call this value, and I'll go ahead and fill it in with a neutral gray color. So let's say 80, 80, 80, drop it in. I'll make a duplicate of the value, and I'll call this one luminance. All right, so for the value over here, I'll change the blend mode to LCH color. This will leave us with a black and white version of the image, which is perfect for working on the values. So make sure that I have the turtle selected. I'll go up to colors and I'll grab levels. Again, you could use curves for this, but I'm going to keep it simple. And the first thing I want to do is reduce the highlights, because the brightest spot in our image here in the background is still not as bright as the turtle. So let's go ahead and reduce the brightness of the turtle, try and see if we can make it match the environment here that we're working with. We don't want to go too low, but we also do not want to be above the threshold. We bring in some of the darks. So around here might be good. Let's disable the value, take a look. So we have the before and the after. Let's zoom out a bit, see if the turtle seems like it's matching really. Now we do need to reintroduce some of the highlights here. As you can see, there's still some light in the scene. So we don't have to go too low just yet. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and press OK. And there we have it. So already it's fitting in a bit better. So I'll duplicate this layer over here, and then I'll rename it to colors. Forgot the S there. There we go. Now for the colors, I'll grab our luminance layer. I'll switch the blend mode to luminance. Let's turn it on. We're no longer dealing with the values, but instead we're dealing with the colors. So we're going to color match our turtle with the background. To do so, we're going to use levels again. And one quick way to go about this, that could work for you, is to simply use the auto input levels, which will it's essentially like doing white balance. So it is trying to bring the colors back to their natural look. And this is what we would get. Now, you can go ahead and use the auto input levels and then try and reverse engineer what it did. You can see here it's pushing the reds a bit, pushing the greens a little bit as well, and pushing the blues, right? If we look at luminance here, and this is the original image, or what we were working with, and this is with the preview. See, it reduced a lot of the blues, but we still have a bit of blue which we can remove after. So you can use the auto input levels. I'll go and do it manually here. And to start, I'll start with the reds over here, and I'll introduce a bit of red into our image. As for the green, I'll go ahead and push some green in. And finally, with the blues, I'm going to reduce the blues from the shadows and maybe add a little bit of blue into the highlights. Let's see here, a bit more for red, not too much red. For the green over here. Okay, so let's see, what do we have now? It's pretty decent. We have the before and the after. There's still a lot of green, we could say, left in our image. Let's push the greens in just a bit more over here. And there we have it. So now our turtle is matching a bit better with the background. Now, an option here is this could also be affecting the values, and we just adjusted the values, so maybe we don't want to change the values again. So if we look at this here, our image is darker, now it's brighter again. And of course, that's not such an issue because, again, we have light coming into the scene, but if you do not want to affect the values, go in blending options and switch it to LCH color, and it will mute the value changes. So if you see here, there's nothing happening. We're only affecting the colors. Okay, so once we're satisfied, let's go ahead and click on OK, and there we have it. So we still have a bit of blue in there, it's not a big issue. And finally, Let's think about the saturation level. How saturated is our background versus our turtle? For this, I'll make another duplicate. Again, you don't have to create multiple duplicates as such. I'll call this one saturation. Go up to colors, use saturation, and I'll drop the saturation a bit for our turtle over here. Okay, we don't want to go too low either, and the turtle wouldn't really have that much color to it. Let's try -20. Okay, so it's a bit more muted and feels like it's better integrated with the overall image. Okay, and now to deal with the blues, we can go ahead and reduce the cyan. So I'll put a 20 overlap, and I'll reduce the cyans a bit and the blues as such. So if we look over here, they're more pronounced, less pronounced. Press OK, and there we have it. You can actually create a folder over here and put all of these in the folder. This would help with keeping things organized. All right. So at this point, we've already matched our turtle with the background. If you want, from this point on, you can just stylize the image, but we already have a pretty good integration. What's really missing here is a bit of interaction between the turtle and the environment. And that could be done in the form of adding highlights and touching up the shadows on or the shaded part of our turtle. If we look at how the light is behaving with the objects around it, we're still getting some shadows that are somewhat pronounced in some areas, and as well as the background. So we want to make sure that the turtle seems like it's in the background. And one way to do this is to add some shadows over here on the bench. So I'm going to zoom out here a bit. Go to view, keep padding and show all, view, show all. Okay. I'm going to grab the path tool here, and it's just to demonstrate a bit. I'll make sure to check on polygon so we don't get any curves by accident. And what I'm doing here essentially is trying to mark the direction of the light. So where is the light coming from? Now this is probably simply something blocking the light as it's coming in, but essentially this is where we can assume that the light source is coming from. So up here somewhere. And if we move this point over here, you can see that the turtle would cast a shadow on this bench down here. So I created a shadow layer, and now we just have to paint a bit of a shadow on top of this. Now you could go ahead and make a selection of the turtle and make it match the bench down here. That is an option. You could even use the scissor tool, so the scissor select, in order to make a selection just so that when we paint in the shadows that it matches, with the environment, like so it's not leaking over leaves that it should have no business touching. There we go. We can feather the edges for this as well. Let's do 2 pixels. We can always blur it afterwards, but just to match it a bit. So I'll grab our paintbrush tool, and I'll grab a color sample from this wall over here. So in the dark areas, try and get colors that match. If anything, I'm going to grab the color picker, and I'll activate these samples over here so that it gives us more of a average selection, if we will. And there we have it. Now I can grab the paintbrush, I'll grab a soft brush, I'll increase the size, and I'll drop the opacity. Let's go ahead and add our shadow here. So let's go to path. I can activate the view of the path and see a bit of the direction here of the shadow. So I'll just drop just a solid shadow in there, just like that. And from there, we can play with the opacity. We can change the blend mode. So let's say soft light or even overlay. Let's see what overlay gives us. A bit more pronounced. And that's essentially it. We've already blended our turtle with the background. From this point on, what would be left is to maybe stylize it if you want to, or even give it an overall tone. So for example, I'll create this and I'll call this solid or solid color. You can choose a theme for this. So color theme, let's see, something aquatic. So it's like we're putting it back inside of the water. I'm going to go for a dark color, drop it in, switch the blend mode for something like soft light. Let's see here. All right. So overall, like I said, we could be adding some highlights and the shadows here to really make the turtle fit into this environment better. So there are a couple ways you could go about this. So I'm going to apply the layer mask for this one over here. And I'll hold down Shift plus Control on the PC or Shift plus Command on the Mac. Click on the layer thumbnail. It applies the layer mask. Hold down Alt on a PC or Option on the Mac and click on the layer so it makes a selection around our turtle. And then I'll grab our Dodge tool, Dodge and Burn. I'll make sure it's set to Dodge, and let's dodge the highlights over here. Now again, we don't want to go brighter than the brightest spot of our image. And then I'll switch over to Burn and burn a bit of the shadows. Now, of course, this is a very destructive way of going about it. You might consider making extra layers and such, but this will give you a good idea of some of the options that you have here. Now, from this point on, it's really about how much would you like to stylize this image. I will not be showing you how to go ahead and stylize this in this video, but if you do want to see a couple ways you could stylize this, let me know in the comments below. And alright, there we have it. We've blended this turtle with the environment and we've even stylized it ever so slightly. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, then don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, there's a thumbs down option, but who clicks on that? Alright, if you have any questions, doubts, suggestions, or any remarks, you can go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. I try and respond to as many of them as I can if I have the answers. Well, that is it. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of content. There is more on the way. If you're a beginner interested in learning GIMP, you can check in the description. I have a link to Skillshare. I have a class on Skillshare where I teach you how to use GIMP. So it's beginner friendly. We'll go from beginner to intermediate. The course is not limited to learning how to use GIMP, but it focuses on photo manipulation with GIMP. So, alright, that is it for this video. Again, my name is Jonathan. This is Nuxttux Creative Studio. Thank you for watching. See you next time.